gang of wild turkeys ambushed a woman on her evening walk, leaving her so badly bloodied she required stitches. Mary Jo Kelly, 83, a longtime resident of the Bay Area, said she was walking last Thursday when two of the birds attacked her from behind, sending her crashing to the ground.
Yeah, you know those Bay Area turkeys.
I went head first, broke my glasses, hit the palm of my hand, my thumb. I bled in the nose. The frightening encounter left Kelly with severe bruising across her face that remained visible a week later. Now, after escaping the attacking turkeys, Kelly called her husband, who rushed her to the emergency room. Doctors had to perform a CT scan, treated her injuries, including 6 stitches on her right hand. The ordeal has left Kelly shaken and demanded action from the city before someone else gets hurt.
What are they going to do?
They contacted the Alameda Police Department to file a report about the attack, but said officers told her they could not take one because the incident involved wildlife.
Right.
If a dog bites you, of course, they're going to pick him up. That's domestic. So basically, she said they're ignoring the problem. An animal control officer said the city currently cannot remove wild turkeys. They explained the birds are in the spring mating season, a period when they become more aggressive. The department also noted that a turkey recently attacked someone's pet dog. Try not to approach them. Go on the other side of the street. Make sure you have a leash on your dog. And just try to stay as far away from the turkeys as possible. Despite the encounter, Kelly said she refused to let the birds keep her indoors forever. For now, though, she's staying closer to home and steering clear of any turkeys. Our question, what is the best story you have about your pet or an interaction with a wild animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Ryan. Welcome to the men's room.
Day-o. Oh, man. So this is not a story about the Pacific Crest Trail, although I do have a bunch of stories I could say about that. This happened back when I was, I think, either 12 or 13 years old. So me and my father were on a road trip out to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, but we went through Banff and Jasper National Park. Very beautiful. If y'all haven't been there, go there. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So we're driving down the main road, and we see a baby moose. And so
Just
we pull
real
over.
quick, how big is, because moose are so much bigger than you think they are, so how big is a baby moose?
Oh, man, I want to say it's probably the size of like a full-grown regular deer.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
Yeah.
that makes
Probably.
sense.
Yeah. So we get out, we're like looking at it. I mean, we're a distance away. And my dad says, stand in front of the camera. I'm going to take a picture so it looks like you're next to the moose. Well, I heard, go stand by the moose. And so probably I go up to it. I am within arm's length of it. He takes the picture and he looks up, and so I know you guys with kids, you know that tone you give when you want to yell at somebody but you can't. It's like, get over, like that.
Yeah, I call it the AM static radio voice.
Yeah, he gave me the AM static voice, and I went back to him, and as we were walking back to the truck, as he was telling me how stupid that was, we saw Mom come out of the woods, and she was hardcore staring at us like, what the F did you just do to me?
Yep.
And so we get back into the truck, and he's like, we're not going to go forward. We're going to go backwards and go chill by the river for a little bit longer and, let these guys move on before we drive by them.
I'll tell you what, I had a couple weird experiences. I was only up there for 4 or 5 days in that area, and just weird experiences. Like we stayed at kind of near a town called Golden, which is a skiing destination, but they have these cabins, and so you have your own little tiny cabin. And when you check into the main thing, kind of like Alta Crystal, they have a main dining area. They have, board games, stuff like that. But when you get into the room, you're kind of just in a room with a couple of beds.
Yeah.
That's about it. Bathroom, that kind of deal. And the guy checking us in is like, look, you have a locker assigned to your cabin. Mm-hmm. I would suggest anything that you have of value or anything that you have that's food, you need to put it in there. And he said, listen, I'm not kidding. He said, do not try to, please come back here to eat.
Right.
We'll be open until 11 o'clock. After that, do not take food back to your cabin. And he said, what cabin are you staying in? And we said, I don't know, 12 or whatever. And he's like, I want you to look at the door and what happened 2 nights ago. And we get to
That's
the
a sales
cabin,
pitch.
Yeah.
and the door is shredded by a bear.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still working, still functional door. Didn't do anything to it. That, you know,
It just shredded it.
it just shredded the entire, and it was a log cabin. So, I mean, it's just digging into this big ass heavy door. And he's like, and you'll see. And so, man, I get back and I'm like, you promised me you don't have any food in your bag. There's nothing in there.
What about
at all."
drinks?
I wouldn't even do it.
I mean, I
Crack
can't
an orange
remember.
soda. As far as I know, the bear thinks it's oranges, right? Which it's
Yeah.
not, but still, nothing, man. Water.
No, I was thinking like it's the evening time. You're in a nice little cabin. Like, can you crack open a bottle of wine, or is that going to like attract a bear?
I don't know. I really
Would you be
don't, I
willing to
don't
find
remember
out?
that.
So
I would ask. He's been there.
Say we're in the cabin, and Ted, you got wine. I don't know. You got Jack Daniels. You got beer, something. And it's like, hey, you know, the guy didn't bring it up. Do I open this bottle of wine in the cabin? My thought is no. Just in case.
Like I said, I would just ask.
Yeah, I saw a
It would be hard to be in that natural beauty in that cabin. But that's part of the fun of having a cabin.
I saw a
Yeah.
snow pheasant on a glacier,
All right.
which looks the size of a chicken, and it's just you're on the glacier by yourself. There was nobody out there with us. It was just we had the dog walking on the glacier, and all of a sudden there's this chicken. I mean, we're like, it's a snow pheasant.
Right.
'Cause after I took the picture, I asked somebody later. I was like, what the hell is this thing on a glacier? And then we were driving back and saw a family of lynx cross the road.
That's pretty cool.
That was really cool. I mean, they're not as big as I thought, but that is probably the only time I will see a cat in the wild in my life.
But a lot of cats in the wild have seen you.
I sure hope so.
I think one of my favorite stories was Castle. He's at Woodland Park Zoo, where obviously you were surrounded by exotic animals. It's a zoo. So he's there with his wife, I think. But there's a mom there with her kid. Her kid's like 4 or 5 years old. And a bald eagle lands near the trash can, because that is what they do. And the mom's like, Timmy, look, there's a bald eagle. There's a bald. And Castle's like, it just starts driving me crazy. I'm like, what do you mean? So I finally looked at the lady and said, lady, there's a goddamn lion right there. There's a bald eagle. There's a lion.
Right.
How about that?
What is the best story you have about your pet or an interaction with a wild animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Bob. Welcome to the men's room.
Afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Hola.
Doing well, Bob. Thank you.
So this is kind of a little bit of an emotional, kind of a freaky sort of story. I'm over in Packwood dealing with the day after our father's death, and one of those immediate sort of things dealing with the household is got to put out the garbage for Monday and so forth. So I put the garbage out and wake up the next morning and I look out the window and there's the garbage lid's open. There's garbage on the ground and so forth. It's like, damn raccoons, because there's raccoons all over around there. And so I go out there and I'm picking up the garbage and look up and there's a spike elk right next to me. Long enough for us to lock eyes, for me to get out my phone and video this elk looking right at me, right next to me. And the thing, I reach my hand out to it and it licks my hands a couple times.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that a good idea? I'm just curious. Like, that would not, I mean, obviously it didn't do anything. I'm just saying that would not have been my first thought.
So there are elk all over the place around there. And so, like I say, this is the day after my dad's death. And so, anyhow, the thing licks me a couple of times, and he gives me a couple of head nods and everything like that with his antlers, turns around, walks away, past his cabin, and that was it. And for me, it was like my dad spiritually, like, look at me, I'm a new bull, I'm moving on. And so it was really spiritual, man. It freaked me out.
Yeah.
See, I'd have known if it was my dad, because I'd have looked at like the floor and shaking its head like you need to vacuum. Like that would have been the way.
Wednesday's
for me to,
garbage day, kid.
I'm outside, I mean, so anyhow, it was really trippy to me. And
Yeah.
so
That's cool though, man. Especially if the thing just licked your hand and all that. That's not typically your wildlife interaction.
No.
yeah, I mean, they can be really aggressive too. I mean, it's not something you would approach like these stupid people over in Yellowstone approaching a bison or something.
I cannot believe how delicious they are.
What, elk?
Yes.
Right?
I'm serious. Because typically if you have deer, it's gamey and I don't know. It's not that great. I had some wild game in Africa that was really tasty, but obviously we don't have that. But elk, I mean, an elk burger is delicious.
Yeah.
You said you had elk sausage?
I've had, yeah, and then I've had moose as well. Moose is a little gamier.
Yeah, I've heard
But
elk's kind of the best.
Yeah, but I mean, I like venison, period.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're too gamey of meats, but elk is very good. But yeah, moose sausage, moose, couple of steaks are fine. That loin roast, though, I mean, you couldn't get the gamey out of it.
Really?
I still ate it, but like, if you don't like gamey stuff at all, you wouldn't like it.
I just want to say, it is not always raccoons that tip the trash cans. We immediately blame raccoon, right? Trash pandas and all that. I'm not saying they don't go through trash. I'm not saying they don't knock the trash can over. But in my limited experiences of what the F is going through my trash, because it's strewn all over, it was not raccoons, in spite of living around raccoons in both cases. When I got to Seattle, it was the crows.
Yeah.
They lift the lid off and they pull everything out. But if you have a dog and you drop your dog poop bag on the top of that, the crows do not touch your trash can after that. And I did not know that until I discovered it. But when I was living in Greenwood, my neighbors, because every morning everyone's trash was everywhere, right? So I would take the dog out. The neighbors would be like, hey, man, do me a solid, just drop the turd on top. And sure enough, it was like currency, right?
Wow.
But the crows left the trash cans alone. When I was younger and we're living out in the woods, we just assumed it was raccoons. Our trash cans used to be behind the house. So every day there was trash everywhere. My father's losing his mind, and he's telling my mother he's going to kill every freaking raccoon in New York State, blah, blah, blah. Typical dad moves, right? So one night we hear the trash cans get tipped. So my father's like, I'm handling this S now, because he wants to square now with the raccoon who keeps doing the trash. And it gets deadly silent outside. So my brother and I, we go out back to check on him, and he's like, don't move, go back in the house. We're like, and we realize it's not a raccoon, it's a skunk. And now the skunk's staring at him, and it's all hissy and jittery with its tail kind of shaking, right? And we're like, not a raccoon, dude. Anyway, my father gets in the house, but the skunk sprayed the house like 2 seconds after he got in. And then we stayed at a motel for 4 days.
Yep.
Just because
It was that bad.
Dude, look, you'll smell the skunk when it gets hit by a car or something like that, right? I mean,
For miles.
For miles. When it hits your home, like your walls mean nothing. You can it means nothing. Your house smells like a skunk exploded inside. And there's basically nothing we could do. So we tried to get through it the first night, but it's just one of those deals where everyone woke up like, this is so great. You start tasting it in your mouth. You know, that's all you breathe. So my father was finally like, God damn it, get a hotel. So we're there for 4 days. But after that, that's when we started keeping the trash cans in the garage. But my point was, not a raccoon.
See, to me, it's an imaginary animal.
What's that?
Skunk.
Skunk?
I don't
used to
believe
think
it.
it was.
I don't believe like a porcupine. I know they're out there. I've never. You would think at
You've never
one
seen
point
a skunk?
No,
Really?
never,
Man.
never.
Yeah.
I mean, the skunk for me was just a memory of going on a road trip.
And
Because
smelling it
eventually you
somewhere.
drive through some place where there's a dead skunk. You'd be like, skunk, man. And that's all I've ever known.
I've seen one once.
It's black and white. You'd think you'd be able to easily spot this thing in the woods.
Well, this was at night when I don't know if they're nocturnal, but it was at night when our trash cans went over. And I had not seen a skunk up until that point, but I saw it and I'm like, they're definitely real. And then we smelled it when it sprayed the house.
I was gonna say skunks are out. They're around. I don't know if they're nocturnal, but it seems like they're like the raccoons. Like they're much more active at night.
And that's the other thing, man. I got raccoons living in my yard and they never touch our trash can. They walk by, and none of the neighbors. I'm telling you, raccoons get a bad rap, man. They are not responsible.
Oh, skunks are nocturnal. That explains why they're so active at night.
Okay, all right.
That explains it.
What is the best story you have about your pet or an interaction with a wild animal? 206-803-ROCK.
I mean, seeing a skunk's one of those things like seeing a wild cat. Like, I just feel like by the time you see it, you're already in danger. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
but
probably
a skunk-
closer than you want it to be. He's scared. Like, I feel like you're going to get sprayed.
It seemed to me that it's more your behavior at the point that you're confronting each other.
All right.
It doesn't seem like skunks just pop out and want to spray your ass. It seems like they allow for some leeway that maybe you did not know I was here, and you get about 5 seconds. Whatever your body language tells you is how this is going to go. You know, if you just kind of turn around and walk away. Basically, I think if you turn your back to it and walk away, it's not going to bother to spray.
All right.
If you keep staring it down, as my father did, because he doesn't know what to do, the skunk's like, all right, he's being aggressive.
Yeah.
Hit him with the stuff.
When my ex-wife moved to Chicago, she said, look, it was during COVID, but she was, she had Chewy then, the dog, and she would not walk Chewy after, like in the winter hours, if it got dark,
Yeah.
she wouldn't walk the dog. She would let the
not?
dog out. Packs of wild coyotes take over Chicago at night.
What?
Yes.
This is a thing.
Downtown.
So I guess if you live there, you know this.
In the city, yes. They are everywhere. And apparently they roam the streets at night, which keeps a lot of people inside, which keeps things a little bit safer. But I mean, these are hundreds of coyotes that are pretty good size because they're eating like a raccoon in a dumpster.
Right.
So they're not like a thin one. These are fat ass big dogs.
All right.
That are running in packs downtown in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, you got to be kidding me. Downtown Chicago. She's like, they're everywhere.
That is insane.
Yeah. So
I would not have known that.
What is the best story you have about your pet or an interaction with a wild animal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Hola.
So my story, I got treed by a Kodiak bear.
What do you mean treed?
Treed. Well, I was logging outside of Kodiak, Alaska on a remote island and tree to get out of the bear's path. He was running directly at me.
So did he run you over?
Well, that's why I climbed the tree so he wouldn't run me over because I was about 2,000 pounds, no, maybe 1,600.
Oh, 1,600.
Now, can grizzlies climb as easy as black bears?
No, not these big bears. And the tree I was going up, he wouldn't even try that. He wasn't after me. It was crazy. I was running a chainsaw, and there was guys working way up on a hill about 900,000 feet up above me on a hillside, and they could see the bear behind me walking towards me. And so when I shut the chainsaw off, I heard him yelling, and I couldn't quite make out what they were yelling, and it finally dawned on me they were screaming bear. So I screamed where, and they screamed behind you, and there was like an embankment behind me. So I looked over the embankment, and he was running straight up it, straight at me. But he was close enough to where I could see the size of his head.
How far away do you think this bear was?
At that point, 50 feet to 100 feet, 50 feet.
And then how long does it take to close that distance?
For him, it was seconds. I was probably 20 feet up the tree directly behind me when he ran by the tree and me, that I was going up, and I continued to go up so I got as high as I could go, and then he went through the bushes and up until I lost sight of him, basically.
Did you feel more comfortable based on the fact you had a chainsaw in your hand? Because I would think, like, this is going to give me a chance. No?
Not at all. No,
really?
No, I didn't want to have anything to do with them. That's why I went up the tree, and I didn't come down the tree until the guys brought a gun from up above and then down to the bottom where I was.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man.
I don't blame you.
Now, was it one of those trees? Because every once in a while they'll show, like, someone climbs a tree. The bear doesn't climb the tree, just hops up in its haunches and just shakes the mofo out of it.
Right.
Was your tree...
He could have on this particular tree, but he was just wanting to get out of Dodge because he didn't like all the noise and all the people around.
Yeah, but you don't know that at the moment, you know?
No. I mean, the tree was my only... I had one thought, get up the tree as quick as possible.
So you were logging up there?
Yeah, logging.
Okay. And you were on an island?
An island. It's called the Fognac Island.
So is it pretty... Fognac?
40-minute flight from Kodiak.
So how do you think this bear got there?
Some of the biggest bears. It's not too far from mainland and stuff, and some of the biggest bears are on that island. Just like Kodiak. Kodiak's an island, but the biggest bears, besides polar bears, the Kodiak bear is the biggest of all the brown bears.
And would you say the name of this island is?
Kodiak, Fognak. Afognak.
Huh. All right. That's crazy.
It was.
Wow.
I guess foxes that'll come right up and eat out of your hand, too.
I'm okay with that because it's not a bear. I don't want to be bitten, but it's like, look, man, I'd rather be bitten by a fox than a bear.
Damn. Okay. Wow. What is the best story you have about your pet or an interaction with a wild animal? 206-803-ROCK.